Brilliant. Okay, so we're going to start feet together. Just don't know why it's suddenly gone quite dark in here. I'm just going to turn another light on. So starting feet together, turning toes out, followed by heels. So just looking down at your feet, making sure they're tracking straight and parallel to each other. Soft through the knees, hips facing forward, shoulders round and down and ears over the shoulders. Placing the hands on the hips, and we're just going to rock that pelvis forward, flattening through the lumbar spine, and back arching through the lumbar spine. So one more time, rocking that pelvis forward and back, and then we're going to find the halfway point between the two, nice neutral spine position. Placing the hands over the rib cage and drawing the shoulders down the back. Nice deep breath in through the nose, feel the rib cage expand, and out through the mouth. Good, one more time, deep breath in through the nose, trying not to breathe up into the shoulders, and out through the mouth. So while we continue with the deep lateral breathing, I want you to imagine that belt around your waist, drawing the sides towards each other, belly button back towards the spine, and at the same time feel those pelvic floor muscles like a lift coming up, 1, 2, and 3. So tightness through the whole abdominal core region, but you can keep with that deep lateral breathing. So relaxing the arms down by your side. We're going to start with some forward shoulder rolls, just nice and slow, taking the shoulder joint through its full range of movement there. Going to do a couple more times forward, and then we're going to reverse up to the ears, over the mountain and down the other side. So really squeezing those shoulder blades together at the back. Good, working with that nice deep breath. One more time, rolling them back, slide the shoulder blades down the back, arms hanging by the side. On the in-breath, we're going to float the arms out to the side, sweeping them up to the ceiling, but keeping those shoulders down away from your ears. On the out-breath, push the air away as you bring the arms back down. Good, one more time. In-breath, floating the arms out to the side, locking those shoulders down the back, and push the air away as we bring the arms back down. We're going to bring the arms forward now up to the ceiling, again keeping those shoulders away from your ears. Now very gently here, don't force it. We're going to sweep the arms back, round and down. Good, one more time. Bring the arms forward up to the ceiling, and then gently sweep them back, round and down. We're going to reverse it now. Again, not forcing it. We're going to take the arms back up to the ceiling. Slide those shoulder blades down your back and push the air away. Bring the arms back. Draw the shoulder blades together. Slide the scapula down your back. We're going to bring the arms forward, but just to shoulder height. Interlock those fingers, turn them inside out. Take the arms back up to the ceiling. So any shoulder issues, you can just work with your hands by your side. Keep the shoulders down the back, and we're going to go over into a right side bend. Keep those knees soft so you're not pulling on your back. And in breath to center back up. Over to a left side bend. Push that right hand away over the top to increase that stretch. And center one more time to each side. Over to the right. If you want to, you can slide that left hip out slightly now. Good. And center. And then over to the left. Sliding that right hip out. And center back up. We're going to separate the hands, sorry you can't see me, but separating the hands, palms facing away from you. We're going to push the air away. As we do that, we're going to look over the right shoulder, push the hands all the way behind you and squeeze those shoulder blades together at the back. Try and get them to touch. Center the head as we sweep the arms back up to the ceiling again. On the out breath, we're going to push the air away. We're going to turn and look over the left shoulder. Sweep the arms back and slide those shoulder blades together along your back. In breath, center the head, arms up to the ceiling. One more time to each side. Out breath, push the air away. Look over the right shoulder. See if you can take the eyes a little bit further behind you as you squeeze those shoulder blades together. In breath, arms to the ceiling. On the out breath, push the air away, looking over the left shoulder. Take the eyes a little further back and squeeze those shoulder blades together. Center the head, keep the hands back. We're going to interlock those fingers behind you. Turn them inside out. Roll those shoulders back so they're not, you don't want to be rounding. You want to keep that chest open, and then gently lifting the hands up away from the glutes. Don't force it, but just feeling that lovely stretch through the front of the chest there. Breathing through that. We're going to relax the hands down onto the glutes, shoulders down the back. So just resting the hands down there. We're going to drop the left ear to the left shoulder, keeping the right shoulder down your back. And then we're going to take chin to chest. Rub that chin along your chest. Don't tip forward with the upper body. Keep those shoulder blades squeezing together. And then ending with right ear over right shoulder. And then chin to chest, gently rubbing that chin along the chest. Feel the stretching through the back of the neck, into the side of the neck, ending left ear over left shoulder. And come back up to centering the head. Relax those arms and just give those shoulders a bit of a roll. To loosen them off. Good. So when you're ready, I'm just going to show you the first one. Slight modification of our roll down. We're going to start with the hands on the thighs. We're going to round down to the knees. When the hands come to the knees, we're going to gently lengthen through the back and take the eyes to the ceiling into a slight back extension, and then round back up and back up to standing. Okay, so just a slight modification just for a couple, just to warm us up. So hands on the front of the thighs, scoop the belly button to spine, chin to chest. We're rounding down to the knees, hands on the knees, and then we're just going to lengthen through that back, and then very gently eyes to the ceiling, and then chin to chest, rounding back up, and stacking the spine, leaving the hands on the thighs. One more time. In breath, belly button to spine, chin to chest, rounding down, hands on the knees, lengthen through the back, take the eyes to the ceiling, and then chin to chest, rounding back up, and stacking that spine. Roll the shoulders back, relax the arms down by your side. So we're going to go into the full roll down now. So just letting those arms relax and hang. Keep those knees bent because we want that lumbar spine to articulate. So belly button to spine on the in breath, on the out breath, chin to chest. And we're slowly peeling the vertebra off the imaginary wall behind you, arms hanging, head hanging, feeling the articulation through each vertebra joint as we come all the way down to the toes, and then scooping belly button to spine. We're rounding back up, stacking that spine, one vertebra at a time. Come up to standing and roll the shoulders back. We're going to come all the way down to the floor, and we're going to, with our roll down, and we're going to stay there and straighten the knees. So if you want a pillow or block just to come down to, if you struggle to get to your toes, just place one in front of you. So deep breath in to prepare. As we breathe out, we're going to go chin to chest. Again, keep those knees slightly bent. So we're allowing that spine to articulate. especially taking time through that lumbar spine. Let the head hang, arms hang, all the way down to your toes. This time we're either going to place the hand onto the block or pillow, or underneath the toes, or palms flat on the floor. Head hanging, and draw the shoulders down your back. We're going to straighten through the left knee for 4, 3, 2, 1, and soften. Straighten through the right knee for 4, 3, 2, 1, and soften. Straighten through both knees now. Again, drop that head down, slide those shoulders down the back. Just breathing through that stretch. And then we're going to soften through the knees, and we're going to come down onto all fours. I'm just going to shift my camera. If anyone needs to shift their camera a bit so I can see when you're down on all fours, that'd be great. And we're coming down onto all fours with the knees underneath the hips, wrists underneath the shoulders, scooping that belly button to spine. And we're coming into our cat stretch. So when you're ready, scooping the belly button to spine, we're rounding up through that thoracic back. Drop the head between the arms. Draw the shoulders down away from the spine. On the out breath, we're going to lengthen the tail and crown, so the head and tailbone away from each other, and very gently feeling on into that back extension, eyes to the ceiling. So in breath, rounding that thoracic back up towards the ceiling. On the out breath, lengthen tail and crown. It's just getting the mobility through that spine. We're just going to flex the back off now, round thoracic back up towards the ceiling, and then we're coming back to our neutral spine position. From there, we're going to walk the hands round to the left slightly. Now, go as much as feels comfortable. We're going to do the cat stretch again. So we're going to be doing the cat stretch on a slight curve there. So when you're ready, on the in-breath, we're rounding thoracic back up to the ceiling. On the out-breath, lengthen tail and crown, and feeding on into that back extension. Good. In breath, so we're just really opening up all through that right side, rounding and into the back extension. Good. Last time, we're just going to flex the back off, so we're rounding it up to the ceiling. We're coming back to our neutral spine position. So from there now, we're going to take the weight back, so almost like we're going into child pose. Take the weight back towards your right heel here. So again, you're opening up through the right side and back up onto all fours. So I'm just going to do it from the back. I think that might be the easiest for you to see. So we're staying round to the left. We're taking the weight to the opposite heel, and then coming back up onto all fours again. Good. One more time. Take the weight back to that right heel. Good. Coming back up onto all fours again. And we're going to change sides. So we're going to walk the hands now round to the right side. Good, so imagine you're just going round the corner, hands are parallel to each other there, and into the cat stretch. So we're rounding the thoracic back up towards the ceiling, and then we lengthen tail and crown, feed on through into that back extension. Good. In breath, rounding thoracic back up towards the ceiling, draw the shoulders down the back. On the out breath, feeding on into that back extension. Good. We're just going to flex the back off, round and up towards the ceiling. Come back to your neutral spine position. And now we're going to take the weight back towards the left heel. Good. And back up onto all fours again. Good. On the in-breath, take the weight back towards that left heel. And coming back up onto all fours. Last time, we're going to take the weight back onto your heels. Hold it down here. Center the hands back up again. So bring the hands straight in front of you. Head down to the floor and just rocking side to side. Loosening that back off a little bit. Good. Brilliant. So we're going to come back up onto all fours again. Take those hands shoulder width apart, scooping the belly button to spine. We're going to slide the left leg back, tuck that left toe underneath you. Make sure you're not hitching that left hip up so you're nice and level. Push back through the hands and you're going to try and get the heel to the floor. So you're feeling that stretch through the calf. Now, if it's uncomfortable with the wrists, come onto forearms here. Keep the pressure back so that you're feeling that really lovely stretch through the calves. Good, and we're holding that for 10, 9, 8, 7. If you feel the stretch easing, just slightly increase it. For 3, 2, 1, and slide that left knee back in. Good. So we're sliding the right leg back. Tuck that right toe underneath you. Push back through the hands, heel to the floor. And we're holding that for 10, 9, 8, 7. Again, keep that pressure on. For 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and sliding that right knee back in again. Brilliant. From there now we're going to go into our hip drop. So just checking both knees are still hip width apart and they haven't closed up together. We're going to drop the hips over to the right, look over the left shoulder at your heels. Good. In breath to center. Again, if this is too much on your wrist, come on to forearms for it. Take both hips over to the left, look over the right shoulder at your heels. Good. And center. We're going to do one more time to each side. See if you can drop those hips a little bit lower. Good. And center. Last time, we're really just opening up through the pelvis here, stretching out anything tight in those glutes or the outer IT band there, and coming back to the center. We can come down onto forearms here. We're going to slide that left leg out to the side here. So you want to be on the side of the foot of that left leg. I'm just going to move it over so you can see my foot. And you want your toe in flexion there. So you want the toes pulled back towards the front of the knee. Okay? If that is too uncomfortable on your hips, then just keep going with the hip drops that we were doing. And now I want you to drop the hips to your right slightly until you start to feel a good pull through that inner thigh. If you're not feeling it through the inner thigh, just bring the leg a little bit more towards the front of the body. Or sort of up towards your head. Good. So, let me know, give me a thumbs down if you're not feeling it, and I'll try and talk you through. If you're feeling it through that inner thigh, that's great. And we're just going to breathe through that for a nice deep breath in and out. Good, and then bend that knee back under you again. I'm going to swivel around, you stay where you are. We're going to take the right leg out to the side. Good. So we're coming onto the side of the foot there. And then just take the weight, the hips over to the left. So you're getting that pull through that inner thigh there. And we're holding that stretch for a nice deep breath in and out. And if it starts to ease, then just drop those hips a little bit more to the left. Deep breath in. and out. Brilliant. And we're going to bend that knee again. We can sit back on your heels, head down to the mat, and just loosening that back off a little bit. Brilliant. Okay, when you're ready, we're coming back up onto all fours again. Again, just checking those knees are hip width apart. We're placing the right hand behind your head so the elbow's bent there. So from there, we're going to take the right elbow up towards the ceiling, follow the head, the elbows with your head, and then we're going to take the elbow down towards the left elbow and turn the head to look towards the ceiling. So you're getting the rotation through the back. In breath, chest up to the ceiling. On the out breath, take the right elbow to the left elbow and take the eyes up to the ceiling. Good. One more time. In breath, take the right elbow to the ceiling. On the out breath, bring it down to that left elbow and take the eyes round to that left side again. Center back up, and we're changing arms here. So left hand comes behind the head. Again, if it's too much for you, come onto the forearms. But what I suggest is you feed the hand through when you look the other way. Okay, so taking the left elbow up to the ceiling, and then on the out breath, take the elbow down to the right elbow and look up to the ceiling. In breath, open the chest up to the ceiling. On the out breath, take the elbow down and eyes to the ceiling. Good, last one. In breath, take the chest up to the ceiling. On the out breath, take the elbow down and eyes to the ceiling. Brilliant. And we're going to come back onto all fours. Nini, stay where you are. Just come into a child pose. The rest of us are going to come to lying on our side. So Nini, I'll just get them going and then I'll come back to you. So we're lying on our side. The knees are bent. The feet and knees are stacked. The waist is lifted up away from the mat, so we're not on a nice comfy sofa. We're lifting that waist up. Make sure the elbow's underneath the shoulder and that the ear is lengthened away, so we don't want to be crunching down into our shoulder there. We're going to take the top arm up to the ceiling. So on the in breath, we're going to push that top hip forward. Follow the hand with the head. On the out breath, we're going to bring the arm round, palm down, feet through the gap, and follow the hand with the head. Okay, I want you to do that 3 times, nice and slow. While you're doing that, Nini, we're going to do the one where you feed it through the gap, from all fours, and take the head down to the floor, okay? You with me? Brilliant. 3 times like that. Perfect. So in breath, arm to the ceiling, sweep that arm back. Obviously don't force it, but you're really trying to open that chest out. Is this the 3rd one you're on now? Bring the arm through. We're going to hold it here. So we're going to creep those fingers away from you. Follow the hand with the head. Feel that lovely rotation through your back. And then we're going to take the arm up to the ceiling again. Relax it down on your thigh. Slide the elbow away. We're just going to rest our head into our hand. And we're going to catch hold of the left ankle. Now, Nini, for this one, can you do the front lying stretch where you lie on your front and catch hold of your left ankle, that one? Okay, all right, so we're going to catch hold of that left ankle. Now, I want you to just think about your neutral spine position. Make sure you've got that slight pelvic tilt, so you're not arching through that back. Take the heel to your glutes and then slide that knee back until you feel a nice stretch through the front of the thigh there. And we're going to hold that for 3 deep breaths. On each out breath, I want you to see if you can slide that leg back a little bit more. Good. Now, if you find it, you're struggling to catch hold of your ankle, then just take the other foot to the floor and just gently pull the foot back a little bit if you can. But I think you're all looking fine. You've all got hold of that ankle there. Good. So last time, nice deep breath in. As you breathe out, we're going to slide that knee back a little bit more, feeling that lovely stretch through the front of the thigh there. And then we're going to let that leg go, give it a bit of a shake off. And when you're ready, we're going to come onto our left side. So Nini, if you go back onto all fours again and do the other arm with the feet through. So elbow underneath shoulder, waist lifted, knees and feet stacked, arm up to the ceiling. Good. So on the in breath, we're opening the arm back, follow the hand with the head, push that hip forward. On the out breath, bring the arm round, palm down, feet through the gap, and then we're creeping those fingers away from you. Good. In breath, such a lovely rotational stretch. In breath, arm to the ceiling. Push the top hip forward. Follow the hand with the head. On the out breath, we're bringing the arm round, palm down, feet through the gap, and creeping those fingers away. Good. One more time. In breath, arm to the ceiling, push that top hip forward, follow the hand with the head. Good, on the out breath, bringing the arm round, we're going to hold the stretch now, creep those fingers away from you, holding that stretch, deep breath in and out. Good, and then we're taking that arm back up to the ceiling and relax it down onto your thigh there. Perfect. So just lengthening the elbow away. We're going to relax the head down into our cupped hands. Nini, okay to come on your front. I'm going to catch hold of that right ankle, heel to the glute. Make sure the knee is in line with the hip. You don't want the knee too high or resting on the other leg. You want it in line. And then tuck that tailbone underneath you as you slide that knee back. Feel that lovely stretch through the front of the thigh there. Deep breath in. As we breathe out, we're going to slide it back a fraction more just to increase that stretch. Good. One more time. Deep breath in. As we breathe it out, slide it back a little bit more. Good, and then we're going to let that leg go, give it a bit of a shake off. Brilliant. So we're going to come up onto our knees. I'm just going to talk you through the next one because I think we're going to need to do slight progressions and regressions with this one. I'm going to show you the full movement, so don't do anything yet. We're going to come up into down dog and we're going to walk our feet towards our hands, so we're just closing that up a little bit. Then we're going to step back with the left leg and we're going to bring the right leg in front. Now we have done this one before, so from the front you've got the knee at right angles, the top of the foot on the floor, and we're doing the psoas stretch. But I'm thinking for some people that might be too strong, so we can either do it where you have the knee, I'm trying to find the best angle, the knee straight, or we can do it standing, which might suit some people. So we have the one leg right back, we need something to hold on to there, and do standing. So I'll talk you through, see what you want to do. I'll give you the progressions and regressions. If I see you stand up, I'll talk you through the stand-up one, okay? So we'll start off with the down dog. So we're tucking our toes underneath us. We're going to push up into the down dog and then walk the feet towards the hands there. And just holding that for a couple of minutes. In the meantime, the people standing, one leg in front, one leg at the back. You want 1.5 meters distance. You're going to drop the weight, the knee forward, and then try and get the heel down towards the floor. For those people who are in the down dog now, I want you to bring the take your left leg back. Good, and then bring the top of the right foot onto the floor in front of you. So the top of the foot, not the sole, the top of the foot onto the floor. And then you're going to take the knee down to the floor and slide that left leg back. So the right heel should be sitting in front of that left hip, okay? And then you're going to push the hands into the floor, grow out of the shoulders, so reach the crown of the head to the ceiling. And then we're going to come down onto our forearms, tuck the toe of that lengthened leg underneath you and lift that knee up off the floor. Now you should be feeling quite a strong stretch through that left hip flexor psoas muscle. We're then going to rock from side to side and just feeling that stretch there. If you're not feeling it there, creep that left leg back a little bit. Good, and we're going to hold that for a deep breath in and out. Good, and then you're going to keep the left toe tucked, push up and bring that right leg back. Excellent, and we're going to change legs here now. So we're going to bring the left top of the foot over to the right side. So for everyone standing, we're going to change legs. Slide the right leg back so the left heel is just in front of that right hip there. Good, I'm just coming to have a little look. But it doesn't matter if you find there's too much on the hip joint, you might want to just keep the ankle, your left ankle in line with the knee. Slide the leg back. So Teresa, I want your weight back more. That's it. Take your right leg further away from you there. That's it. Good. Okay. All right. And then we're going to drop down to the floor. So come onto your forearms. Tuck that right toe underneath you. Lift the right knee up off the floor. Good, and push the heel down towards the mat. And again, feeling that stretch through that right hip flexor. Perfect. Good, and then we're going to come back up into down dog. So push the weight back up. Good. And then come back down to your knees. Excellent. Sitting on your heels, and we're going to bring our legs out in front of us. Good job, everyone. It's a really good muscle to stretch because it's hip flexors and psoas muscle. The muscle gets very tight when we do a lot of sitting, office wear, that sort of thing. So it's a really good one to stretch, but it's not the easiest positioning to get into to stretch it, but you all did great. Well done. Okay, so legs are out into the V. You want to be feeling that slight pull through the inner thigh. If you're struggling to get nice and straight through your back, just pop yourself onto a block or a pillow there. We're going to have the right hand on the right knee. We're going to slide the right hand down towards the foot. We're going to bring the left hand over so you've got the side of the waist going down over that right knee. And then you're going to turn and take the chest over the knee, Bring the left hand to the outside of that foot. So you've got your chest over the knee now. You've got that slight stretch because the hand is coming to the outside of that leg. And we're going to breathe in and out. Good. Back into the side bend and then draw yourselves back up to the center again. Left hand onto left leg. Slide the left hand down, right arm comes over the top. So we've got the side of the waist over that left knee or towards the left knee. Then we're going to take the chest over the knee. Bring that right hand to the outside of the left leg. So we're getting a little bit more of an extra stretch up through that right side. Take the chest down towards the knee. Good. From there, we're going to walk the hands in front now. So we're going to walk the hands round to center us up. If you can, just drop the elbows to the floor. It doesn't matter if that's not going to happen. But what I want you to think about here is length through the back. Take the eyes to the end of the mat or looking out in front of you there. Draw the shoulders down the back and just feel that lovely stretch there through that inner thigh. And then we're going to go chin to chest, rounding back up, stack that spine and roll the shoulders back. Good. So we're going to close those legs, not together, but a lot closer. So sort of probably about a foot apart from each other. Arms out in front of you. Good. We're going to hinge forward. So again, we're going for, I'll do it side on. We're going for length through the back. So not rounding, we're going full length here. Reach the hands over the ends of the toes there. And then we're going to drop the hands down onto the ankles. Now, it doesn't matter if you don't reach the ankles. If you only reach your knees, that's fine. Just hold the hands there. Keep the right hand down onto that leg, and we're going to take the left hand up to the ceiling. Follow the hand with the head. Good. Use the right hand to put a bit of pressure to increase that rotation. So you almost use it as a leverage to rotate a bit more. Lower back down, and then we're going to take the right arm up to the ceiling. Push against the left leg to increase that rotation. One more time to each side. So right hand on your ankle or leg, left arm to the ceiling. Follow the hand with the head and lower. And we're going to go right arm up to the ceiling. Use the pressure on the left leg to increase that rotation. Come back down to your ankle, chin to chest, round back up and stacking that spine. Excellent. So we're going to bend the knees now, come to the front of the mat. Hip width apart between the knees and the ankles. Arms straight out in front of you. So we're doing the roll back C curve here. So we're drawing the belly button to spine. We're pushing that lumbar spine out. Remember, that's really important. We want to C-curve that lower back. And we're dropping back, but only as far as we feel those core muscles clicking in. Think about those shoulders down your back and stay nice and broad through your chest. And then we round back up and stack that spine. Good. Deep breath in, draw the belly button to spine. We're rounding back to that C curve. Keep the shoulders relaxed. Check there's no tension there through the neck and shoulders. Good. And we're rounding back up and stacking. This next one we're going to do arm floats. If it feels too much, just keep going straight back and up again. So we're rolling back to the C curve. We're going to take the left arm, float it to the side and back. Follow the hand with the head and back to the center again. We're going to take the right arm, float it back to the center, and we're rounding and stacking the spine. One more time, we're going to start with the right arm this time. So draw the belly button to spine, roll back to the C curve. We're going to take the right arm and float it back, follow the hand with the head and center. Left arm, relax those shoulders down your back. Try not to have any tension in those shoulders. Center, rounding and stacking. Lengthen the legs away from you, knees and feet together. So long leg, hinge forward, and you can grab hold of your toes here or ankles, whatever you can get hold of. Drop the head down between the arms. Good, just stretching out through that back. And then we're rounding and stacking that spine. Good. So we're coming down to lying on the floor now. So you might find you want to bend your knees slightly, maybe hold on to your thighs. That's fine. Have a go with this one and then see if you suddenly need to grab, do so. So we're scooping belly button to spine, we're rounding down, squeeze the knees and feet together, and we're slowly coming down to the floor, lumbar, thoracic. Take the head down, reach the arms over the top, back of the hands are on the floor there. Good, and we're just breathing through the stretch. And then I want you to flex through the feet. And I want you to push that right heel away from you. Really feel like you're trying to get that right heel to touch the wall in front. At the same time, I want you to reach that right arm behind you to touch the wall behind you. And relax. And then we're going to lengthen the left heel away from you. At the same time, we're going to lengthen the left arm away. And relax. One more time to each side. We're going to go right arm, lengthen away, right heel. And relax. And then we're going to go left arm and left heel, pushing away from you. And relax, and just see now if that lower back just melts down a little bit more into the mat there. I'm going to bend those knees now, bring the arms down by your side. So knees and feet are hip width apart. Heels are about 1.5 hand length away from the glute. We're just going to find our neutral spine position. So we're just going to roll the pelvis forward so you're arching that lumbar spine off the mat. At the same time, we're going to take the chin up towards the ceiling. On the out breath, we're going to flatten that lumbar spine through into the mat and then sliding that chin towards the chest. Good. So one more time, in breath, roll the pelvis forward, arching through the lumbar spine, chin to the ceiling. And on the out breath, flattening through the lumbar spine, taking that chin towards the chest. Keep that lovely length through the back of your neck. And we're going to float the right and left arm up to the ceiling, palms facing away from you. So we're going right arm up above the head onto the floor. The left hand comes down onto the floor by your feet. Keeping the hands on the floor, so we're dragging the fingers on the floor. We're going to bring the arms out to the side, finishing with the left arm up above the head. The right hand is down towards your feet. And float the arms back up to the ceiling again. Good. So left arm is coming up above the head, right hand is coming down to your feet. Keep the hands on the floor, drag the hands on the floor. As you bring the left arm down, the right arm goes up and then back up to the ceiling again. Double arms now, we're bringing both hands down towards your feet. Back of the hands onto the floor, sweep both arms out to the side, all the way taking them behind your head and back up to the ceiling again. We're changing direction. So taking both hands, back of the hands onto the floor behind your head. Keep that rib cage down. Don't let it pop up. Dragging them along the floor towards your feet and back up to the ceiling again. Okay, this next one is quite strong through the shoulders, so don't force this one. We're going to take the elbows down to the floor, level with your shoulders, so at shoulder height. The fingers are up to the ceiling. And then we're going to take the back of the hands down towards the floor. Again, this is where you don't want to force it, just take your time. Keep that rib cage down. Don't let that rib cage pop up off the floor. If your hands are on the floor, stay there. If your hands aren't quite reaching the floor, I want you to just keep repeating that movement. So fingers to the ceiling, and then take the back of the hands towards the floor. If the hands are on the floor, we're going to slide those hands along the floor, keeping the 10 to 2 position, reaching them behind your head, and then we're going to, all of us, bring our arms back up to the ceiling again. So we're going to do that one more time. We're dropping the elbows down to the floor at shoulder height. Take the back of the hands down to the floor. Slide the hands along the floor back behind your head. Keep that rib cage down and draw the arms back up to the ceiling again. Perfect. So we're going to relax the arms down by your side now. And when you're ready, we're going to come up into the shoulder bridge position. So deep breath in to engage the core. On the out breath, we're going to curl that pelvis up off the mat. Peeling the vertebra one at a time, squeeze through the glutes, push forward through the front of the thighs, lengthen through the back of the neck. Lift those hips as high as you can, but drop that rib cage down. So you've got hips lifted, glutes engaged, but the rib cage isn't popping out there. Check there's no tension through neck and shoulders. And then we're going to come back down, one vertebra at a time, keeping that pelvis curled up until that lumbar spine comes into the mat, and then relax the pelvis down. Good. One more time. In breath, we're curling that pelvis up off the mat, peeling the vertebra one at a time as we come up into the shoulder bridge position, hips lifted, rib cage down. Check those glutes are squeezing, and we're going to come back down, one vertebra at a time, keeping that pelvis curled up until the end. Brilliant. This next one now, as we go up, we're going to bring our hands with us up, and as we finish up in our shoulder bridge, the hands should be behind our head. So when you're ready, bringing the hands with you, we're curling that pelvis up off the mat. Peeling the vertebra one at a time, lengthening through the back of the neck. Glutes are squeezed. Lift those hips, rib cage are down. From there now, as we come back down, we're going to bend the elbows and bring the elbows in line with the shoulders as we come back down, one vertebra at a time, keeping the pelvis curled up until the end. So we're now in the position of when we were doing our open window, so dropping the elbows to the floor and then taking the back of the hands down to the mat. So the elbows are in line with the shoulder, back of the hands are on the floor or towards the floor. If it feels too much for you, draw the elbows down. Okay, so just slide the elbows down a little bit. Keeping the feet hip width apart. We're not stacking the feet here. We're going to drop the knees to the right. So you're just coming on to the edges of your feet without stacking them, and take the head to the left. Good, so both knees down to one side, to the right, head goes to the left. And then center back up, and we're going to take the knees to the left and the head goes to the right. Good. But remember, we're not trying to stack those feet up. So by keeping them hip width apart, so just keep going. I just want you to keep going from one side to the other. we're just slightly increasing that stretch, bringing that right side, giving that right side a bit more of a stretch there now as we come to the left. Good. Good, a couple more times, just dropping the knees down, head goes in the opposite direction. At the same time, we're just opening up through the chest with this lovely pec stretch. Good. And last one, we're going to center those knees back up again and relax the arms down by your side. Good job. Okay, so from here now, we're going to slide the left heel away from you. At the same time, we're going to take the right arm up above the head, pointing through that left leg. We're going to take that left leg up to the ceiling. We're going to come up from the breastbone, so chin to chest. We're going to take hold of the left leg with both hands. Good. And we're going to draw the leg towards your nose. So it's not nose to knee, it's knee towards your nose. Keep hold of the leg and we're going to lower the head back down to the floor. So we're just increasing that stretch there on that hamstring. Good. And then we're going to start with those ankle circles, nice and slow. We're going to go 5 times in the one direction for 4. And 5, and then we're changing directions for 5 and 4, really stretching out any tight ligaments and tendons there in the ankle joint. We're now going to point the toe and then flex, reaching that heel to the ceiling. Point through the toe and flex, reaching the heel up. Good. Last time, we're going to point and flex, reach the heel to the ceiling. We're going to hug that knee into your chest and lengthen that right leg away from you now. Good. We're going to hook the left hand underneath that left knee. Right hand comes out to the side, and then we're going to open that knee out as much as we can without rolling onto our left side there, till we start to feel a pull through the inner thigh. Now, if you feel comfortable to, we can then lengthen that left leg. So we open, that leg is long and out to the side. If it feels too much through the hip joint, keep the knee bent. Good. So just feeling that lovely stretch through the inner thigh. We're going to draw that knee back into your chest. Bring your right hand now across the knee. Your left arm comes out to the side. Now, I just want you to take that knee back to a more tabletop position rather than hugging it. So you want to sort of lengthen that left hip away from you. And then we're going to bring that left knee over to the right side. We're going to come onto our right side, but keep the left shoulder down on the floor. And just think of lengthening that hip away slightly rather than getting that hip creeping up towards you. Keep that hip long. And you should be feeling a nice stretch there through that left side. Good. Remember, don't let that left shoulder come up. Brilliant. Hug that left knee back in again. Center yourself back up. We're going to lower the left foot to the floor, keeping the knee bent. I'm going to bring that right knee back in, so we've got both knees bent and on the floor. So from there, we're going to slide the right leg away, bring the left arm over the head, pointing through the toe. We're going to take the right leg up to the ceiling, chin to chest, come up from the breastbone, take hold of that leg and draw the leg towards you. So knee to nose, not nose to knee. Keep hold of the leg and we're going to lower the head back down to the floor, increasing that stretch. And then we're going to start with those ankle circles, nice and slow. Good, we're going to go 5 times in the one direction. And 5, and then we're changing directions for 5, 4, 3, nice and slow for 2, last one here, and then we're going to point through the toe, flex and reach the heel up to the ceiling. point through the toe and flex, reaching that heel up. Good. Last one now. Point and flex, reach the heel to the ceiling. We're going to hug that right knee back into your chest and lengthen that left leg away. Good. So taking your right arm, place it underneath that right knee. Left arm comes to the side. And we're going to open that right knee out as much as we can, as far as it will go. So we're feeling that nice pull there through that inner thigh. And then if you feel comfortable to, you can straighten that leg out. Good. Just supporting it with that hand though, letting it just rest onto that forearm. And then draw that knee back in. We're going to take hold of the knee with the left hand now. The right hand comes out to the side. Take the leg back to a more tabletop position, and then we're going to bring that right leg over to the left, pushing the hip away from you slightly. Good. And so we're getting that real stretch through that right side of the glutes there. Nice deep breath in and out. Good. We're going to hug that left knee back into your chest. Good. And then take the foot back down to the floor. Bend that left knee there. We're going to roll onto our sides now. Take your time because we've been lying on our backs for a while. We're going to come to sitting on our heels here. And I'll just show you, I'll show you the next exercise. So just watch me do the complete exercise before we go through it together. So we're going to come from a child pose position, keeping the hands stuck on the floor. We're going to round up through the hips and then pushing the hips forward. So we're going to take the weight over the wrist and into the back extension, okay? And then rounding up through the hips, head down and back down to the child pose, all right? Now, again, if you have wrist issues, you can do it with forearms. Maybe just don't come too far, or just come back to the cat stretch, okay? So let's start from the child pose position. So weight onto your heels, hands in front, stick the hands to the mat. You're going to round up like the cat stretch, but you're rounding up through those hips. And then take the shoulders over the wrists, drive those hips forward, lengthen out through the crown of the head into that back extension, and then rounding back through the hips, round through the back and back onto your heels again. Good, I'm just going to watch this next one. So rounding up like the cat stretch, round up through those hips. Good. Take the weight over your wrists. If you want to creep your hands forward, by all means do, if the hands are a bit behind you. So Jane Davies, take your hands forward a little bit more. So you want to go, that's it, into that back extension. Good, and then take the weight back, rounding back up, sit on your heels. We're going to just come up from the chest, open those knees out nice and wide here. And then we're just going to walk the hands forward. So the knees are nice and wide, big toe together. Walk the hands forward and just opening up through the back there. Good. Head, try and take the chest down to the floor. Good. And use the hands now to walk you back up. We're going to come up onto all fours. Tucking those toes underneath you. Push up into the down dog. Trying to take the heels to the floor. If the heels won't reach the floor, I want you to bend one knee and take the other heel to the floor and then change. Reach the head through to your knees. Soften through the knees, walk the hands back towards your feet, and we're slowly going to round back up, stacking that spine, coming up to standing. Good job, everyone. Hopefully that felt like some nice gentle stretching after Christmas. Anyway, it wasn't too hardcore on the core. Brilliant. So next week we'll introduce a bit more core work. I just wanted to give you a nice stretch off after the Christmas break. Well done, everyone. And I'll pop the recording through, and I look forward to seeing you either next week or later in the week. Take care.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Pleasure. Bye.
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 Bye.